guys, and a huge welcome back to the latest Noob review video. My name's Craig, and as always I'm joined by my friend and colleague Mr. Paul. Say hello, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Today we are going a little bit further back and reviewing one of my personal favourite trilogies, known as the Uncharted series, which follows Nathan Drake on his treasure hunting adventures. Paul, you haven't actually played this game yet, have you?
No, I haven't. I must be one of only 3 people who've never even touched the game.
Yeah, and I have to say, you're missing out, man, because they've just re-released it in HD, the remastered edition for the later consoles, and it is fantastic.
Well, to be fair, it always did look fantastic. I remember back in the day when it came out on PlayStation, and I remember watching a review and it looked amazing then.
It hasn't, well, I say it hasn't changed, but it has, because with this one they've updated the graphics, and in the first installment they've altered sort of the shooting kind of mechanics of the game, and they've made it a little bit easier. Yeah, it's stability improvements throughout the trilogy, but obviously with the upcoming game they just wanted to remaster the originals and bring them out to the further consoles. But as you can see, it's a brilliant game. I love this series.
I'd say I've never got into it. The only real games I played similar to this are probably Gears of War for the Xbox, and recently, well, I say recently, Spec Ops: The Line, which I did find to be an absolutely excelling, brilliant game. Underrated as well.
The closest game I would say that goes hand in hand with this, its biggest competition I would say would be Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider, yeah, I said to you before, it is very Tomb Raider-ish.
It's like a male version of Tomb Raider, really. Yeah. Except you haven't got the cone-shaped tips.
To be fair, what are you trying to do there?
I'm just exploring, you know, trying to climb a random wall that I can't. But yeah, and like I say, the biggest competition with this game I would say would be Tomb Raider. And when this was released, the first Uncharted was released, which is Drake's Fortune, which is the game we're playing now. Tomb Raider Underworld, I believe, was released one day before it.
It was, and we did do a tiny little bit of research, and didn't this sell like almost 3 times as much?
I don't know whether it was 3 times as much. It was definitely more than 1 million copies.
Yeah, I think
more than, you know, Tomb Raider. So this did actually beat Tomb Raider when in terms of sales when they came out.
Yeah. Well, again, it's something new, and to be fair, they've made 3 of them. They're bringing out a 4th soon, so it's, you know what I mean?
I can't wait for the 4th one. I've been seeing footage of it, and I'm really excited to see it. But this is just the general beginning of the game, and as you can see, there's a lot of climbing around. There's not really much gunfire fights or anything like that at the beginning of the game. You do progress into it as the story goes on, and there are different modes you can complete it on. Like there's easy, medium, hard, and then there's like crushing difficulty, which is seriously a ball ache if you're going to go through it on that. But you know, it's very doable. I've done it myself. I've platinumed this game. This is actually the re-released version. This is the remastered edition. This isn't the original from the PS3. I just thought it would be easier to get it on the PS4 rather than, you know, go back. But like I say, not a lot has changed other than the graphics and a little bit of stability improvements in terms of gunfire and climbing and all that sort of stuff. Because I remember on the first edition of it, it was a bit twitchy at times, but so still highly enjoyable. Yeah, they've just kind of updated it to go with everything else that's coming out. You know, they couldn't just re-release it and keep it the way it was. Otherwise, you would have had a bit of a pain in the arse playing.
Okay, for someone who, you know, hasn't played it as myself, I know a little bit. I know it's a little bit like Tomb Raider, so obviously there's going to be puzzle solving, a lot of climbing and shooting. But what else can I expect from this game?
It's an all-round fun game to play. I mean, you constantly want to keep playing because there's something new coming up all the time. It is repetitive, but it's not at the same time because the story just develops quite quickly.
The story is the story good, compelling?
Yeah,
you know, makes you want to carry on playing.
It definitely keeps you interested. This is a little bit of fighting now that we're going to see, but yeah, it definitely keeps you interested in playing the game. I mean, the lady there that's with me now is called Elena, and she plays a big part throughout the series.
Is she like a companion? You know,
she's a reporter in this game, and she's, you know, filming you trying to uncover Drake's fortune. Obviously, the name of the title, but not the Nathan Drake that you actually seen on screen. It's oh God, what's his name? Oh, forgive me, I can't remember his name now. I've just recently played this as well. It's because I'm playing the second one, and I've just forgotten what it is. But yeah, Drake's ancestor. You know, he assumed he was buried at sea, but it's not. He digs up the coffin at the beginning, and you know, there's a little diary inside that leads to a different treasure. This is all about finding El Dorado, the lost city. You know.
Yeah, and I've just seen you there pick up treasure, so obviously there's a lot of collectibles to collect.
They're the only collectibles in the game are the hidden treasures around the maps.
Are they actually hidden, or the like in plain sight?
Some of them are quite obvious to see. They sparkle.
Yeah,
when
so
you're
you
looking.
can see
So
as you're walking
if you just stand in one place and you just like pan the camera around, you'll be able to see where certain treasures are because they'll just sparkle every now and then.
Yeah.
And you can make your way over and get that. Some are a little bit more difficult to find than others, but I remember on my first playthrough of this, I did it on medium and I found something like 45 of them without a guide.
So you just literally walk. So they are quite easily.
It's quite easy to find. Yeah, there's a strange relic that you have to find. So in total, there's 61, I think, hidden little pieces of treasure to pick up. And once you pick them all up, obviously that's towards another trophy or achievement there as well.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun to play because, like I say, the story is really gripping. The character is seriously lovable. You really enjoy playing as Nathan
we
Drake.
mentioned before, do you start actually caring for him? I know it's stupid, but
Well,
you're actually concerned about what happens to him.
To him, yeah, because he's a lot of fun. He's funny, he's quippy, he's quirky. You know, he makes you laugh with some of the stuff he says. And you've got two companions with you on this one. You've got Elena, who is the annoying ass reporter because she constantly gets in your way when it comes to gunfights.
Yeah.
So you're trying to shoot somebody, and then she just stands in front of you like, Drake,
Yeah.
where are we gonna go now? We're getting shot at. And you're just like, get the fuck out the way.
Yeah. No, as for companions, you know, a lot of games. This is probably one of the first, but a lot of games from this era, you were solo. Like, say Lara Croft, you were just on your own and you fought everything, what the world threw at you. But this one, do the companions actually? I know you just said she annoys you, but do they actually assist you?
Well,
Like if you're
she
stuck
does
in an
carry a
area.
gun and she does shoot other people. You are accompanied sometimes by a guy called Sully, aka Victor Sullivan, who is like your... I don't know, he's like Drake's father figure, I suppose, because in later installments you find out a bit of backstory between them and it's really interesting. But he does appear every now and then in this game, but there's a lot of this game where he's not in it. Like I say, he does play a bit more of a bigger role throughout later installments. But in this one, it's mostly you and Elena. But most of the time, you're on your own as well. But she does join you, and she does get involved in the gunfights. It's not like a case of you've got to protect her. She holds her own,
she
you
holds
know.
her own.
But she does get in the way every now and
Why
then.
let you just all then running straight into a room full of enemies?
She's running into a room and she's not even firing. So sometimes it can be like that.
Are your companions indestructible? Like they can take literally infinite amount of bullets and they just will never go down? Or
Yes.
Do you have to constantly get her up?
Yes and no. Because if you stay with her, she won't die. But if you abandon her, she dies.
So if you leave her behind thinking you can do this better on your own?
Yeah. There's been parts when I went through it on crushing difficulty where I tried to just bypass certain enemies to try and finish the level as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And if you kind of abandon her, she will die. It's annoying like that because when you're with her, she's invincible. But when you abandon her, she will die.
Yeah, so you've got to always keep an eye on her.
Yeah, so it's like you can't rush through this. You've got to take out these enemies, you know?
Yeah. As for the levels and the level design, is everything stuff destructible? You know what I mean? Like you can blow through walls on this
No,
one?
not really. No, it wasn't really a game designed about destruction for buildings, walls, fences and stuff like that. There are certain gates you have to get through by blowing them up and stuff, but it's all part of the story. See, I couldn't just shoot those crates and they disintegrate, you know? But if enemies shoot them, then they can.
I was just about to ask that. Can enemies shoot you through walls, but then vice versa, you can't do the same?
Exactly, yeah. There's a little bit now where I'm going to go on a jet ski up the river.
Oh,
and
so you can do vehicles as well?
Only some vehicles. I mean, there's part of this game where Elena is on the back now and you control Elena's gun. So she's going to be shooting. And there's a little bit where you see Elena driving and you're on the back with a big gun and you're doing the shooting.
You seem to be stuck there, my friend.
I'm just surveying the area because, like I say, I was hunting around for the little trophies when I was playing this game. Because, like I say, I'm playing this now on... This is my medium playthrough, so I'm just having a bit of an explore while I'm doing it, and you know I'm getting familiar with it because
I am getting this game. You have suggested, because I said, well, to just do it on one single playthrough, I'll just go straight through and crush, and you did advise me, oh hell no.
Well, I advise anyone not to go through it first time on crushing difficulty unless they've played the game before, because you're going to be more concerned about staying alive than paying attention to the story.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'd enjoy it as much, you know. So you know the graphics and gameplay have seriously been improved in this game, and
you just sit back and enjoy it, what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what I'm saying, yeah. I mean, I didn't want to come off it. I wanted to play it all the time because I just found it so enjoyable. And like I say, the characters, you really start to kind of bond with them. And Nathan Drake he's funny, you know, he's always bringing out the one-liners. He's a ladies' man. So,
So
you know.
he is the male version of a Lara Croft.
He is pretty much a male Lara Croft. If you wanted to compare it to another game, it's definitely going to be Tomb Raider.
Well, to be fair, there's not real many games you can compare it to, is there?
Not really. And like you say, there is general puzzle solving as well. Like on a Tomb Raider game, you'd have to solve certain puzzles. On this, you are tasked with certain puzzles. Those puzzles can be climbing stuff to find secret ways through somewhere, or it can literally be you're in a room and you've got to turn certain things a certain way by looking in your diary, because you're constantly given help with your diary. So it never just kind of chucks you in a place and says, figure this out.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yes, well, you mentioned you planned it, so what kind of trophies do you have to get? Obviously, they'll be collected in treasure trophies, level trophies, the easy stuff which you just come across naturally.
Yeah, there's a vast amount of guns in the game. You've got to get a certain amount of kills with different guns. It's not always the same. Some guns it could be 10 kills, some guns it could be 50 kills. You've got to get a certain amount of headshots. You've got to complete certain missions in certain times and all that. You can do that on speed run, on easy. It's very, very straightforward. It's not a hard platinum whatsoever, or whatever it is when you do it all on an Xbox. What is it when you get 100% on an Xbox?
Well, they won't be doing this on Xbox because it's a PlayStation only, my friend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and it's
fair
achievements on the old PlayStation.
Fair enough. That's my
yeah,
cock up.
this was one of the... Well, it was meant to be one of the first games on the PlayStation, wasn't it? But obviously, inevitably, it got delayed, and it came out about a year after the PlayStation 3 came out.
Probably something like that, yeah. Do you know what? I'm not even that bothered that this was delayed, because it's such a great game. And it's very, very seamless in terms of when you transition from one level to the next.
Yeah,
it's
no
not like a
screen.
yeah. It doesn't come up with a loading screen, and you've got to wait until you go into the next mission. You can just walk into an area. Next thing you know, you're in the next chapter. It does tell you at the top what chapter you're in, and then
Again, with games of this era, were there any you see on definitely the early, Battlefields and definitely the early CODs, that levels would just appear in front of you?
No,
the draw distance.
Yeah, no. I mean, sometimes there was only one part of this game where I found that, the level sort of had to catch up to you in terms of everything looked pixelated and very, very cheap. But then if you just stand there, it's like it kind of renders itself.
Yeah,
that's the only time I saw that, and it was when I climbed out of some kind of pit and I was standing in this forest. But that's the only time I saw it. Nothing else. Everywhere else you go, it's like everything's already there.
Yeah,
you don't have to look into the distance, and things will start appearing.
And here's the diary you were talking about.
This is the diary I was talking about, yeah. The four pictures on the left-hand side there are these statues that I'm looking at, and I've got to try and position them the right way. It's very, very straightforward, very easy. The most difficult thing on this is the combat when you're on a crushing difficulty.
Because is it like one-shot dead type?
It takes about 2 or 3 shots to kill you off. Yeah, but you got to just utilize your cover. Seriously, just use your cover. Aim for the head all the time, because even on crushing difficulty, a headshot's going to kill them.
Yeah.
It's quite realistic in that sense. But if you get them in the body, you're looking at a full clip before they go down.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
And is ammo is it?
It's not scarce. It's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's all
even
over the place.
on crushing difficulty, you can still,
It's not. There's not as much of it, I don't think, but it's definitely easy. You never go to a point where you're like, shit, I've got no guns. I haven't had guns for about 10 minutes. There's always a gun.
Say you do run out of ammo. Have you still got your melee attack?
Yeah.
Just run at them and just knock them in the face.
Yeah, you can still use your fists, and you can still do like sneaking up attacks. If someone's got their back to you, you can always kill them that way. But other than that, there's the length of the game. It's about a 6 to 8 hour game, depending on how you play it. If you really enjoy it, if you're searching around all the time, it'll take you closer to the 8 or 9 hours. But if you just want to plow through it, you're looking at about 6 hours till you get to the end.
6 hours if you just go from objective to objective to objective.
Yeah, if you're not hunting around, if you just go from one place to another, there's no real kind of course you can go off on. You're stuck on a certain line, and you'll just follow it to the end.
On this little line, can you just go and explore certain little areas?
Yeah. You'll get in an area, and you're at point A, and you know where point B is, but you can search around all different areas of wherever you want to
Not too far to the game, because you'll hit that imaginary brick wall.
Yeah. There'll be a small wall that you just can't climb for some reason. Yeah, it's typical of games like that. But other than that, as far as I'm aware, there's no add-ons for the game. I don't think there's any downloadable content, and if there is,
they came in the later ones, didn't they?
If there is any, it's probably going to be guns and stuff like that. Download different guns, or possibly a skin for Drake. In this, you can turn him into Donut Drake, which makes him dead fat.
Yeah.
You can wear like a Naughty Dog costume, or you can even appear as, you know, Elena or Sully or probably one of the bad guys.
I do know. I'm pretty sure the second one's got a bit of DLC, but this was. You got to remember, this game was before DLC, really.
Pretty much.
Existed.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's no co-op either. It's just a single player all the way through.
Well, didn't they take? They've taken co-op out of all three of them on the remastered edition.
In the remastered edition, yes, they all have been taken out. There is online on the originals.
Yeah.
But on the remastered, yeah, they just took it out and they replaced some of the online trophies with just regular trophies to get. I'm getting my ass kicked here.
Yeah, no.
But this is quite interesting because you see how the screen's gone grey?
Yeah.
That's how you know you're running out of health. You don't have a health bar. If you get shot at, the colour starts to fade off the screen, and when it goes grey, it starts giving out a heartbeat for you, you know?
Heartbeat, so your health does regenerate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And this is the final boss now.
Which
it's
did
fairly
kick your ass,
straightforward.
didn't it?
Fucking, oh my god, yeah, I spent such a long time doing this. It was so frustrating. But then, just one day, first time, straight through it.
Straight through.
It can happen like that, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're getting seriously frustrated, you start making easy mistakes. See, he runs off once you've killed his goons. But there's 3 stages to this fight where you have to fight other people, and then you go and fight him on a helipad by himself.
So, in conclusion then, I'm already sold on the game. You have sold me on it, and I will be getting it hopefully within the next couple of weeks.
It's definitely an 8 out of 10 for me.
Definitely an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10 for this installment,
So,
yeah.
graphics, gameplay, story, the whole king caboodle, you can't really find fault with it.
There are minor technical issues that I would pick at, but to be honest, I love this game. I love the franchise. It's going to be a straight 8 out of 10 for me.
If you've never played it,
I highly recommend it. Absolutely recommend
to be fair, there can't be that many people like
No,
me.
and if I can tell you to get it, get the remastered edition, and you'll get it ready for when number 4 comes out. But anyway, if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Leave us a comment of what game you want to see us review in the future, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Anything else, Paul, you want to add?
No, I'm sold with this game, and we'll bring you the next 3 as soon as we've done them.
Excellent. See you soon.